Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 2011 Hall of Fame induction ceremony for the University of Indianapolis. Our next inductee is Reiff. Reiff graduated from the University of Indianapolis and Indiana Central in 1980 with a Bachelor of Science degree. After his time at the University of Indianapolis, he earned his Master's of Education Administration degree from Miami of Ohio University in 1981. While at UIndy, Reiff lettered in football all 4 years and was the athletic trainer for men's basketball. During his time as a Greyhound student athlete, he held the record for the most points for a kicker and the longest field goal made, and all Indiana Central people will love this. He hit the winning field goal in one of the Top Dog Trophy games against Butler, so congratulations, Reiff. Reiff started his athletic training profession as an intern for the Indiana Pacers from 1978 to 80. He became an associate professor and head athletic trainer for Butler University in 1981 and held that position until 1999. He was the manager of athletic care for the Atlanta Committee for the 1996 Olympic Games. Reiff was awarded the most distinguished athletic trainer by the National Athletic Trainers Association and was inducted into the Indiana Athletic Trainers Association Hall of Fame. Reiff is currently the director of St. Vincent Sports Performance of Indianapolis. Congratulations to Reiff, a 2011 University of Indianapolis Hall of Fame inductee.
Thank you very much, Matt, Sue. I appreciate it very much. Take you on a little bit of a journey. 1975 at high school Wawasee. I was on my journey, as most kids raised on farms in northern Indiana, to go to Purdue University. And that took a detour when I had a knee injury, and that also changed my passion in life. I learned very quickly about the opportunity to take care of athletes who were injured, and I began on my journey as an athletic trainer in search of that. So my brother Mark was here at the university on a journey as an athlete of football and track, and unknown to anybody here, I came along on a visit, and Coach Bill Bless said, sure, you can come to school here. And I started as the place kicker for all 4 years from my first game as a freshman, and it was Coach Bill Bless that gave me that opportunity. But the more important story is really what this university allowed, and points along the journey that I want to stop and bring attention to is that when I got the great phone call from Matt last fall that I got into the Hall of Fame, I immediately thought of the people that I wanted to make sure were here and for this night, and it was the people who helped me get here and get through this place in a way that really shaped my entire life from that point on. So I wanted to make sure that my brother Mark was here, and it's a neat thing to be alongside your brother in the same place, and to follow along and have some of the same friends and now some of the same memories. It was a neat part of being here at the university, was being Mark's brother, and that's a big deal to me. And I wanted to make sure that my oldest brother Tom was here, because Tom was always the person who would be at the athletic contest or at the schools, would drive to Indianapolis the 3 hours from the Wawasee, North Webster area to be here for those Saturday games, or up in Michigan or over in Illinois or Ohio. And Tom always took the time to be a supporter of both Mark and myself. And that was very, very important. And for that, I'm very grateful to Tom for what he exhibited and really modeled for me as I am now a parent and try to do those same things. And my mother. Obviously, Mom is one of a kind, and as everyone's mother is. But it's very important that Mom be here. And she's just been a person who has found a way and her husband, our father, passed away a number of years ago, but it was Dad and Mom who would make that 3-hour trip as well. They would always be there for those Saturday games. That was all really important, and family is critical. And I pay tribute to Robert and Patricia Reiff all the time, I hope, in the way that I live my life. The other person who comes into that picture was already going to be here, and so I invited one other. And those two people, it's amazing how the dots connect. And one of my mentors as a teacher was Terry Weatherall. And Terry, to put this in context, when I came here in 1976, there was no athletic training curriculum. I got my degree in driver's education, and that's an inside family. Also got my master's degree in driver's education. But anyway, there was no athletic training curriculum. Terry Weatherall was taping ankles. There was a physical therapist at Community Hospital, Louis Greenwald, who helped us out. Dr. Lozo, I think, was one of the orthopedic surgeons that first did arthroscopic surgery in this area. And it was through those people that I became familiar with athletic training. And Terry really helped me, guide me, so that I could stay here and still pursue the interest that I had in a very young industry of athletic training. And he introduced me to the athletic trainer for the Indiana Pacers, David Craig. And David and his wife Cheryl are here tonight. And David was the athletic trainer for the Indiana Pacers for 30 plus years, a resident of the South Side in Acton. But David took me in as his student assistant. And so it's through Terry's encouragement, Terry connected the dots. This university created a curriculum opportunity for me to stay here, to study what I had a passion for. And that's why today, 30-some years later, I give kids a chance when they aren't quite sure what they want to be, and I give people an extra effort when they're not quite sure how to get from point A to B, and we'll find a solution. It's because of those things that were done 30 years ago that leave an impression. So to Terry, I thank you. To David Craig, I'm blessed every day that we get to work in the same building and see each other today. And so it's that journey that goes along from a kid on a farm that wanted to be a farmer to tearing up a knee, finding a new profession, and really having great mentors along the way. I want to mention some people here at the university. Gene Cease was the president of the university while I was here, and I was a presidential aide, and it was a great honor to be able to see how he operated this university. He was a person, and still is, someone that I admired greatly. Brenda, my wife, and I thought so much of him. He being an ordained Methodist minister, that we asked him to marry us, and so Brenda and I were married across the street at the University Heights Methodist Church by Pastor Gene Cease. And I want to thank Angus Nickerson. I feel very blessed in athletics to have been a student of Angus Nickerson, to work alongside Mr. Tony Hinkle at Butler, to have a father-in-law who's in the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame, Mr. Howard Catt, and talk about having some special dust sprinkled on you. I've been blessed to be around some amazing people. Coach Bless, I mentioned already, Coach Bright, and one quick story about one of the athletes here that made an impression on me also. And as a place kicker, you don't brag about that too much, and being part of a football team, but had a great pleasure of playing alongside Dick Nowak. And when Dick was a senior, he was my holder. Now, those of us who played with Dick know that he led the state in all-purpose yardage. He never left the field. But he was crazy also. And we would he'd get down on a knee to take the snap from the holder, and I was a freshman. And he'd look back at me and sort of twinkle in his eye and wink and just sort of say, "You never know." And what he meant was, You never know if he's going to run with it, throw it, hold it, and that was always his saying. He would just always look back at me and say, you never know. It was great times. Let me leave you with this, because this is a Methodist institution. And my faith is very important to me. And it was very important, I know, to my mom that we attended college. Matter of fact, Mark was first generation in the Reiff family to go to college. And to be at a Methodist institution, I think is something that my mother's still very proud of, to be affiliated with this church-supported institution. So let me read this to you. John Wesley, maybe you've heard it, the 7 cans. Do all the good you can, by all the means you can, in all the ways that you can. In all the places you can, at all the times you can, for all the people you can, for as long as ever you can. The words of John Wesley and this great institution has instilled that upon me, and I thank you for this great honor, and I thank you and my friends for taking time out of a very busy life to be here this evening. Thank you.